Are you an international student or a new immigrant studying in Canada? This is information you need to know. Studies have shown that while women are predominantly affected by sexual violence, minority populations are at increased risk. International students, often part of these minority groups, are reported to be more vulnerable to sexual violence. In this presentation, I will be addressing a crucial topic: sexual consent, relationships, and the legal rights of international students in Canada when it comes to reporting sexual violence. What is sexual consent? Consent should be voluntary, enthusiastic, and an ongoing agreement. First, let's break down sexual consent. In Canada, consent means freely given, which means that it's not pressured, forced, or manipulated. Consent should be ongoing, which means that it can be withdrawn at any time. So no means no. Informed. Both people must be conscious and capable of making the decision. Consent must be enthusiastic. A clear yes means yes, not silence or uncertainty. Here's a fact to remember. Being intoxicated, unconscious, or unable to understand means a person cannot legally give consent. This is a serious law in Canada. Now let's get into some common misconceptions about consent. What's the myth? If someone agreed to sex before, they automatically agree again. This is not true. Here's the fact. Consent must be given every time. Past agreement doesn't mean future consent. Myth number 2. If they didn't fight back, it wasn't sexual assault. Here's the fact. No one should have to fight to prove they didn't want it. Silence is not consent. And if you're unsure whether your partner is comfortable, the safest choice is stop and ask. According to research, a barrier to reporting sexual violence by international students is the fear of losing their student visa or being deported. This is not true. So now let's look into some legal rights of international students in Canada. Many international students worry that reporting sexual violence could affect their visa or student status. But here's the truth. You have the same legal rights as any Canadian citizen when it comes to sexual violence. Schools and workplaces cannot punish you for reporting sexual violence. If you're in Canada on a study permit, reporting will not affect your visa status. Canadian laws are meant to protect survivors of sexual violence. Every college and university in Canada is legally bound to have a sexual violence policy and support services for survivors. You are not alone. If you or someone you know experiences sexual violence, here is what you can do. Number 1, seek medical care, even if you are unsure about reporting. Secondly, find a support service. There's campus resources, crisis hotlines, and community organizations that offer free help. Consider reporting. You can report to the police, your school, or sexual assault centers. Support is available in multiple languages. To end this presentation, a word of advice. Sexual consent is about respect, communication, and choice. If you're an international student, know your rights and don't be afraid to speak up. Seek help. Share this video with your friends and let's create a safer world for everyone.